Welcome back to my tutorial. So in previous session, we understood why we call Salesforce as a CRM application because it supports by default marketing, sales, and service functionality. So we call that as a CRM application. So now let's understand why am I calling Salesforce as a cloud CRM application. So why is it cloud? So what is the meaning of the cloud when we say? So what kind of application we call it as a pure cloud application? Okay, let's understand first what is cloud. I will talk with example. Okay, so there are basically two type of computing system right now. Okay, so one we can say as a let's think my traditional computing system, and one I will call as a cloud computing system. So let's understand what is the difference between them. So traditional computing system as cloud computing system. So when I say cloud computing system, what it mean, and when I say traditional computing system, what it mean. Let's see. I want to uh, I want to play a video on my laptop. Then what I need to do? So I may need a Windows player, or I may need a VLC player, so where I can play my videos. So to use that, I may get a exe file, and that exe file I need to install on my system. So that exe file which you have, you can see their physical existence. Okay, so if anything you get as a product, exe file when you get it's as a product, or if you want to use Microsoft Word 2010 for example. Okay, so what you do that time? So simply you get one set of file, maybe in a DVD, or maybe in a pen drive, or maybe you download from somewhere. Then that you install. So it's nothing but a physical thing which is nothing delivered to us as a product, and that product we use. And let's think, if I want to use Google Talk, I want to call to someone using Google Talk, then what I'll do, I can download the Google Talk application and I have to install on my system. So if anything you get as a product, that we call as a, it's in the form of traditional computing system. And if you get anything as a service, for example, I want to send email. To send email, what I can do, I can simply log into the Gmail applications in my browser without installing anything. I need to have an internet connection, and I can compose my email and I can send. So the email service we are getting as a service from the Google to communicate or to message to someone. Okay, so that kind of thing we call in cloud computing. Okay, so if you do in the any application, if you develop in traditional computing, then you have to, let's see, I have, for example, to give you more clarity, I have a team of 10 developers, or maybe team of 10 employees who are working for my company, and I want them to use Microsoft Word. Okay, so now what will happen? So I need to buy the Microsoft Word. Usually we have to buy the license version from Microsoft. Then once you buy the MS Word package, then I have to go to all 10 computers and or laptops. I have to install that Microsoft Word in all computers. Okay, with the license, and then we have to see the license renewal and all these things. And if there is any, if there is some places, let's see, one computer have some issues, my application got crashed, and I have to reinstall and all these things I have to do. Right now I bought for 10. Let's see, tomorrow, due to some bad time, I just need 8 or 7 employees, and 3 employees I'm just removing from my company. Then what the 10 licenses I have bought for Microsoft, what is going to happen for the 3? Because we already bought as a product. We got as a physical copy of the licenses as a set of file. So we cannot do anything. But when it's a traditional computing, so I am not going to get anything as a product. Everything I will get as a service. When I say as a service, what it means, let's see. So if I want to use, let's see, some kind of applications, instead of getting as a set of file, I will get one hosted server URL. Okay, and I'll connect to that server URL with username. So for which user I want to connect, I will only pay for that user. Right now I have 10 employees, and I have taken 10 user license, and I'm connecting to that server where I'm going to get services, and I'm accessing it. If tomorrow I am downgrading my company size to 7, then what will happen? I need to pay only for the 7. And if you talk about a real example, like we used to get electricity in our home. Okay, to get the electricity, what do we do? We simply go to electricity department. We give a application to get the connection to our home, and once we get the connection, it depends how much we are using for that month. We are paying that much bill, and if I don't use, then I'm not going to pay bill. So for example, if I am in a whole month, if I'm in home, and I used all time, my bill will come more. And if I use like I went for a vacation and just 10 days I'm in home, then I used only for 10 days, I'll pay for that much. That's because I got as a service. But just think, like to understand, instead of taking electricity as a service from the electricity provider, if I think, okay, I need it as a product, that means I need to set up my infra, or my all the infrastructure to generate electricity, and then it can be used in my home. I will not take as a service. As a product, if I do, I need to be worry about the installation, I need to worry about its maintenance, I need to worry all the expensive things for my traditional computing system, like the electricity, what we discussed. So what happened here, if any application, or if anything you get as a service, that application or that thing we call as a cloud. Okay, if anything you get as a service, what it means. So technology wise, when we say that we to have any kind of application, what we need. Okay, so for my application, I need to host somewhere, I need to have some mechanism where I can customize my application. Okay, I need to have mechanism how my application can be assessed. Right, that means any application or anything you get as a service, that we call as a cloud applications. Okay, now this, to satisfy some application to be part of cloud applications, there are basically three type of mechanism we follow here. One we call application as a service, or you can say software as a service. And one more thing is we may get some kind of platform as a service, or we can say something like infrastructure as a service. So we need all this kind of thing. So we may need application or software as a service, or we may say infrastructure as a service, or we may say platform as a service. If anybody gives you any of these to you as a service, we call that it's in the cloud. So now let's see how this Salesforce is going to be satisfy all these SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. So now if I want to access my Salesforce application, do I need to install anything in the system? Let's see that. So if I can access any application or any software as a service to me, then that application will be fall under SaaS. So now we'll see how Salesforce falls under SaaS. To see that, what I'm going to do, if I want to access Salesforce application, simply what I need to do, I need a server URL. For now, let's see, it's a login.salesforce.com. I'll talk about this in detail in upcoming sessions. So now if I want to access my Salesforce, simply I have a username. I can enter my username, and I can hit my password, and simply I will be able to access my Salesforce org. I'll show you how I'm going to have this account in next session. But for now, to make you to understand, see, simply I'm able to access my Salesforce application without installing anything. So I am accessing this as a service to me. If I have, I want simply with username password, I can access Salesforce application as a service to me. So that's why I'm saying Salesforce nothing but is a pass. Okay, platform, sorry, as a SaaS. software as a service, or I can say application as a service. So as I said, anything, it may be SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, that I will say as a cloud computing. So next, uh, as it is application, I need to customize my application as per my business requirement. So whenever I want to customize, I may need some place where I can write my logic, or where I can do some programming, or I need a platform where I can put my requirement in the business logic. So that means, let's see, if you want to write something in the Java or .NET, you may need your Microsoft Visual Studio, or maybe your Java need to be set up, all these things. But now if I want to do some kind of logic change here, what I can do, I have a platform, many places, many different ID we have to customize my applications. So simply you can see something called developer console. Here, without installing anything, I can access this platform to create my new class or multiple things which we will discuss in detail. Okay, we can write my logic here, or you can see here, I'm not going to install any platform for me, but simply I can go and write my logics. Okay, so it's nothing but what I'm going to do here, without installing any platform, or I can say Salesforce provides a platform as a service to us, which nothing but I can say my dev console, or you can say course.com ID. Okay, so we are getting all this as a platform to us. That's why I say Salesforce is also satisfy PaaS. Same way, once I customize my logic, it should be hosted somewhere, so that these changes can be accessible to my user. So Salesforce gives something called database.com as a infrastructure for us. So it's nothing but we have something called database.com, which we can access as a infrastructure. So now, to access my applications, okay, or to store my data, I'm not going to have any external database. Everything is integrated with Salesforce. I can store my data. I can create different kind of database tabular object. Everything I can do in this Salesforce. So Salesforce in a single package gives all SaaS, PaaS, IaaS to us, which you can use. That's why we call Salesforce, which satisfies software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So that's why we call Salesforce as a cloud CRM applications, cloud applications. We understood why it is CRM applications. We understood why it is cloud applications completely. That's why I'm going to say here, or I'm going to draw the line. Salesforce is a cloud CRM applications, so which we can access anywhere in the world without installing anything, just through a login server URL and my login username and password. Okay, if I have, I can access the application and I can do whatever I want. So next we'll see how I am going to have a Salesforce account, so that we can continue with our project, and we'll understand technically what Salesforce can do, and theoretical concepts, whatever like advantages and its history, everything we'll discuss in later phase. But we'll directly jump to our project work. So how I'm going to develop a customized project in Salesforce platform. Thank you. Stay tuned for next session.